hopefully this all works now. It's been a day of experimentation. How about that? YouTube and Twitch. I don't know. I'm just basically winging it. Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna deal with that. Yeah, it is very echoey in this room, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it. It could just be that this camera has very little capabilities in terms of that. So I have to kind of see if it's gonna be that annoying, and which case I can kind of deal with anyway, just deal with the that background noise. Is it really loud? I just want to make sure it's not like so bad. Yeah, I know that other cameras are capable of um, really reducing like the background noise. That's good. Yeah, this little camera is cute, but if it doesn't function, then there are other models. Um, Again, I have no idea. I'm sure all this stuff can be tweaked. I just don't know how to really do it right now. So I guess what I'll do is I'll just limit my keyboard tickering. And thank you, Guan. I'm sure I'll get better at this. I just don't know how much of it is. It's not really background noise. There wasn't any actual noise at the time. Yeah, understood. Yeah, I just figured that if I do end up typing something, I don't want it to be like a distractor. But we'll see. I really hate to get rid of this little camera. It's really cute. But it's not necessarily considered like a more professional model. It's just a webcam, a cute one. Definitely late. Definitely late. I watched Hackers how many times? I can't even count. Hack the planet! Hack the planet! And by the way, excellent use of leap code. So if you haven't been able to tell, I went down to the regular sitting position because I got tired of standing all day. So I did that entire like 2 hour, first 2 hour stream, which I deleted because it's junk, not really worth keeping. Um, but I did that all standing. So I now have my memory preset set on this standing desk for both modes. So we'll see how that works. Yeah, YouTube definitely adds an extra step into all this. So no worries. Thank you, Mary. Thanks for popping through. Hope all's well over there and keep kicking butt. Quan, if you're on this, which I can't tell, hope you're having a good time. And I'm sorry I couldn't make it out there. No promises. No promises, Mary. Um, but the good news is that because this is also new, I'm gonna keep going. Hey, Quan. I'm gonna keep streaming, so I'll probably be streaming, especially given that I don't not sleeping a whole heck of a lot these days. Um, I'm probably gonna be on live most of today until I get sick and tired of this, or I just like keep tinkering. So anyhow, be safe out there. Okay, you might have caught Oliver yelling at me. Anyway, see you. Yes. What's up, buddy? Yeah? What's up? What happened? Hmm? You upset Kitty? What's happened? What happens when you get a cat? Hmm? What's What's up? Yeah? Is your food bowl empty? It's a travesty. That is a real tragedy. Empty food bowls and all. Yeah? What's up? Yeah? You a sweet kitty? Yeah? I'm trying to get some airtime? I'm trying to get some airtime? What's up? What are you spying over there? Mm-hmm. I wonder. I gotta figure out something with the chat. Hmm. Hi, Patricia. How you doing? Are you over at mommy's house? Well, it's not really anything happening other than me trying to figure out how all this works. Um, but yeah, I guess you're working right now. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. I just wanted to see if this thing even worked. Mary was just here. She's in, at work, out of town. So um, I sent mommy the link as well, but I'm not sure if she knows how to fuss with this anyway. So if you subscribe to the channel, then I think it sends you notifications when I go live. Um, but I'll probably be going live most of the day. All right, sounds good. Thank you. So David and Willie are probably at work right now, so I'm sure they won't be able to chime on in. But if you go over to mommy's house, you can show her how to figure out how to work this thing. I'm over here hanging out with Oliver. Yeah, they'll figure it out. Mommy's actually not too shabby. She's sending me constantly stuff on Instagram. So so many cat videos on Instagram that she sends me. All right, sounds good. Well, unless somebody else pops on, I probably won't be talking much, but I'll keep this going. There are no special announcements right now. Right now, the only announcement is I have this streaming thing set up. We're at our new place, and basically this is kind of my new office, and I set this up so that I can try to start doing this a lot more often. Um, so I just figured the majority of folks that will stop on in, besides being friends and family, will be like folks maybe interested in seeing my hats. I don't know. Um, but yeah, I don't really have a major theme. I think at some point I'm going to get a treadmill in here. So at the very least, at least in the morning, maybe also in the afternoon, I'll do like myself walking on a treadmill, only because I feel like that's going to be a pretty good. Well, one is good for me, and maybe it'll help other people who want to do the same thing. I got to lose a few lbs. And if you're with the student, make sure this he or she has got their eyes on the road. They're already driving in the probably the worst place to drive a car. Good. That's good advice. And she probably knows this, but she's gonna get better at this. Um, Everybody starts off this way, and it's always nerve wracking. I mean, Patricia, you started off this way as well, but now you're an instructor. Um, you will eventually get automated. Matter of fact, it's actually safer driving now because you're just much more alert of everything. I think what gets people in trouble is when they get too comfortable. So you might hear Oliver come in and start yelling at me. I think his food bowl is not as full as he wants it. Are you guys driving in Manhattan or in the boroughs, the Brooklyn or Queens? Upper West Side. Wow. All right. At least you got some nice scenery. Been seeing some crazy videos from out over there. I think they showed a scaffolding or I don't know. Maybe I mixed it up, but I'm pretty sure it was in New York City where they had a scaffolding from one of the stations come down. Um, I don't think anybody got hurt, but it was pretty scary. Let me know how it goes because I want to open up my own. All right, we'll do. Well, I already learned a lot. And the software that I'm using is supposed to be a lot easier than it's relatively new software called Meld Studio. And the traditional software that people use is called OBS Studio, but it's a lot more of a learning curve. This is a lot easier. I managed to figure it out. I started messing with it last night and, messed with it last night, and I'm already up and going by today. So, yeah, not bad at all. Yeah, the main thing is to just open up I will now that you have this, that means you already have access to your own YouTube account. If you're on here chatting, so then figure out what other platforms you want to go to. So this software Meld will allow you to live stream to other platforms. So right now I'm also live streaming to Twitch, but I can stream to Rumble. I can stream to Kick. I think I can stream to TikTok, Facebook. I can do a bunch of. I mean, it looks like all the platforms. Now, the only problem is the more platforms that you stream to, the more it taxes your internet and your computer. So I guess you're kind of limited by that in terms of whether you want to stream to everything at once. So for that reason, I just chose to do YouTube and Twitch. My right now, my wall is pretty plain. It's just yellow paint here behind me. In my old office, I had just hats all around, but I'm just trying to wait because my desk stands up and it lowers. So I figured if I had something in the background, it would you wouldn't be able to see it unless I did something like a set of hats here and a set of hats there. Um, but I'm not even sold on I'm gonna be filling this background. I just want to take it slow in terms of adding stuff to this place, and be a little bit more thoughtful than I was with the last place. Um, but right now, I got my hats stuck all over in the corner on this floor, so I just that it can't live there forever. So I have to figure out a plan. Yes, buddy. What happened? Your food bowl's not full enough? Yeah. Okay. Everything is awful. Understood. Oliver's begging again. You little beggy cat? I still have more stuff to mess around with on this on the layout. Right now, I think it's displaying the chat for everybody. So it looks like there's two sets of chats. Um, I just have to mess around with it. Shouldn't be that difficult. I'll just do that later tonight. It says my stream has been on for about 40 minutes. So that's good. I mean, I streamed already for like 2 hours this morning, but I just deleted it because it was just all a bunch of nonsense and just dead air. Um, yes, I know. I know. So the one thing it doesn't tell me besides, I only know if people are on when they say something in the chat. There's got to be some way to let it tell me who's part of the who's watching the stream. Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, be safe. don't uh don't worry about the chatting. And you too, student. You especially if you're driving. be even safer. 'Cause I don't want that kind of stuff on my conscience. I wonder if they still teach 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock. That was always the old school way, but I think they've gone away from that. Good, good. Laughing is the cure for a lot of woes. So yes, that's not a very laughing meow. That's like a hungry meow or an attention meow. Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, mommy would be good at that. That's okay. Yeah, I understood. No, that sounds good. I think that's a good idea. I mean, I think mommy and papi already know. Let's see, it's 10 to 2 is still being taught. Okay, 10 to 2 is still being taught for the students. Okay, good. So I guess that stuff that I learned is not useless anymore. Um, yeah, I think mommy and papi, especially since the pandemic, well, besides after the pandemic, when they just weren't as mobile as they used to be, they've been doing a lot of the church sessions online. So I think that might have inspired her to say, "Hey, this is kind of the future of the future of everything. I mean, it's not even the future; it's the now." So yeah, it makes sense. Yes, you agree? He's like, "My food is the future. My food is the future of not bothering you." Oliver's like, "Excuse me, sir. Could you kindly shut up and get me some food?" He's not hungry. He just likes to beg. He eats quite a lot, but basically, he just kind of just figures out that if he meows enough at me, that I'll eventually just give him more food. So I've been trying not to give in to him too much. So I just got this webcam, and I've been pretty pleased with it. It's a little tiny little thing, and I don't have a whole lot of light in this room. I have literally one ring light that's shining against the wall, even. So the light is bouncing against the wall and then shining up basically me. Um, and that's all I got. And the camera's picking it up pretty decently. At least what I see on the screen looks pretty well lit. So I've been pretty happy with the camera. The only thing with this camera is I'm using its microphone, and I know it has a really bad time filtering out background noise. There are other webcams that do better at that. I'm not sure if that's gonna be a deal breaker or not. So like earlier, um, my keystrokes, you can hear my keystrokes on the stream, and that's something that certain cameras they can filter that out. There was also noise coming out, from outside that you can hear. So like maintenance folks doing lawn care, and you can hear it on the camera. But I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm really care about it that much to want to switch out my camera. Um, Another option is just to get another microphone, maybe a better microphone, one that's not built into the webcam will do better. I don't know. Right on? Yeah. He's like, your camera's like your microphone sucks, man. You need a cat microphone. Yeah. You came personally closer to back. This cat is shameless. Gato sin vergüenza. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm fucking smack about you. No offense. You're still cute, but you're shameless. Mm-hmm. You. You should have seen it. He had the worst day. I think it was 2 days ago. Apparently there were insect traps. You know those glue traps that catches insects. There were several of them that were already in the house from the previous tenant, and he got into one. And this was like first thing in the morning, and we wake up and he's rolling around on the floor trying to get out of this sticky trap, and he's got it all over. He's got it all over his back leg, um, and he was kind of just like whimpering. I mean, he was just having a terrible time. And finally, we got some warm water, and we got him to settle down to kind of get the trap off. But he still had gluey stuff all over his back leg, um, and he was trying to groom himself, and he ended up like getting sick basically because he had that whatever that nasty glue that he was trying to get off his foot, and he ingested some of it. Luckily, he was okay after he got sick a couple times. He managed to get over it. And he's fine now. But yeah, that was tough. That was a tough introduction to the house. Yeah, you. We're talking about you, man. He's like, I don't me. That was some other cat. He's like, I don't get sick, just hungry. All right, he's going up the steps. He's got what I like to refer to as annoyed ears on. When he doesn't get his way, he just puts his ears back. And he's like, you suck. What are you looking at? He's looking back at me. So I don't know how the weather's been over there, but it's been pretty darn nice over here since yesterday. I think yesterday was when the good weather started setting in. It was just perfect. Not too warm, not too cold. Yeah, I actually went outside for a couple walks yesterday, and I went this morning. Kind of see folks in the new neighborhood. Pretty nice. Yes, we hear you. Everything's terrible. I know. You think this cat never eats? And he eats quite a bit, kind of like me. I sent mommy the feed as well, but she never replied. I don't know if she's just busy or if she's watching it and she just doesn't know how to chat. Okay, sounds good. I know she's not big on interacting over the internet, but yeah, if she figures out how to at least type, I don't know. I figure it'll be helpful, when we can't. She said she clocked earlier and saw you. Okay, clicked earlier. I'm assuming that's what you meant. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, it's that was the main reason for wanting to do YouTube is that I feel like there's a lot more of a general audience on YouTube, only because almost everybody has a Gmail account. Twitch is a little bit more niche. There's still a lot, even though it's like a lot younger audiences, because it usually is associated with a lot more gamers. Um, but yeah, I want to say those are probably the two biggest traditional live stream platforms. Um, but yeah, there's just so many out there now. I was like, wow, I didn't have a TikTok account until just yesterday. I set one up just so at some point, if I want to live stream on TikTok, I'll do that. But I didn't even have a TikTok account until yesterday. Yes, buddy, I know. We hear you. Holy cow. Okay, buddy. Okay. I hear you. He's starting to get really pathetic now. But he does this to me because he usually gets away with it. So I also shared the link on a couple hack groups that I'm a part of. Um, I have no idea if any of this will take off, and that's fine. I just don't know enough anyway. I probably wouldn't do that well on the live stream, but I figured, okay, the more I do this, the better I'll get at it. This is one thing I really wanted to start doing for quite a bit. I just never got around to it. And once we did the move, I was like, okay, she doesn't know how to chat. Okay, that makes sense. If she's on the app, basically all she would have to do is click at the bottom. Um, Hi, mom. ¿Cómo vas? Ya tú ves que estoy en el internet ahora, ¿verdad? Oliver te dice hello. Yeah, when you go over to her place, you're gonna have to show her how to use the chat function. Cuando Patricia vaya a tu casa, que ella te va a enseñar cómo hacer el chat, ¿ok? Que tú tienes que aprender toda esa tecnología. So I'll be up there on the 17th. Yeah, TikTok is definitely brain rot. That's why I've kind of I just got back on Facebook. Uh, I think I had stopped on Facebook up until recently. And the reason why I got back on was one, I wanted to see some, get some stuff from Facebook Marketplace, and but it was good to be off of that for quite a bit. Um, so I think mostly social media is brain rot. But yeah, TikTok I heard is just especially, because they do what they do well. They get you to keep swiping and looking at new videos, and before you know it, the day is gone. You know, the kids these days they talk about when the fact that they're on social media so long that they never go outside, and when they do get outside, they call it touching grass. It's like this is what I do when I actually go touch grass. I think that's pretty cool. Kids these days, when I touch grass, just sounds like something illegal. The kids don't touch the grass. Pass on the grass. Yes, buddy. Oliver's now singing a soliloquy, the song of the hungry. Yes, I hear you. He is now howling. So we have these steps that he likes to play with. So they're one of those steps that are like they have like gaps between the steps so you can see through. Um, so what'll happen is if on the subfloor on the basement floor, you can see him and he'll go and he'll like we'll have like a little play toy that he can go and swat at between the steps. It's really cute. So that's pretty much like a game that we try to play every day now. I think cats need that kind of stuff because they have like that hunting instinct where they're like, okay, now I'm gonna track this thing down and start swatting at it. Yes, buddy, we're talking about you. Yeah, one thing about TikTok that was pretty big when they had the ban that went down, so many people were upset because essentially, besides the fact that it was like a drug, but there was a lot of folks that their whole business model revolved around TikTok. Um, so that it really was like a lot of businesses that got hurt because essentially they were kind of like side hustles that were just totally based on TikTok. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Yeah, buddy, I see you. What's the matter? He's pawing at the door. Okay, sounds good. See you, Patricia. Thanks for joining the stream. Be safe out there. And I'll see you on the 17th. Yes, ma'am. Ollie. What's up, buddy? What's up? What's up? What's up, sweet cat? Yeah, you gonna come down? What happened? What happened? Hmm? You sweet, sweet boy? What happened, sweet boy? Yeah? You hungry, hungry cat? Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, there's still a lot to figure out with this stuff. Let's see if anybody. I wish it told me how many people were still on the chat. That should just be the default. What happened, Ralph? Hmm? You sweet boy, Ralph? Hmm? What happened, hungry boy? Hmm? You sweet hungry boy? You sweet, 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 sweet hungry boy? Yeah? You have hungers? Okay, okay, okay. You have hungers? You sweet hungry boy? Hmm? You sweet hungry boy? Yes, Ralph. I hear you, Ralph. Yes, Ralph. See, we get any Mets fans in here. Yeah, buddy. Hopefully, we get some Mets fans showing up. Yes. Yes. What happened, buddy? What happened? Yes. What happened? Yes. Yes, buddy. What happened, sweet kitty? Hmm. Meow. 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 And we're back. So I gotta go get myself another fizzy water. Hmm. Hey, Mary. You guys grab food? It should have been lunchtime over there, I think, when you guys were here last. So hopefully that means you guys did grab some food. You're with Quan, so I gotta imagine that's a high probability. So you missed it. Patricia was here. She was with a driving student. And Oliver was in here begging up a storm. And I finally relented. I was trying to just stave him off. And he just was very insistent that his food bowl was really empty. And he was right. His food ball, that is. It was in need of fooding. The stream has been going on for at least this latest one for about an hour and approaching an hour and 48 minutes. So I guess I'm just getting used to this being on now. I have no idea if you're still on or not. Again, I really, and I know it's possible, and I don't even know if I want it. Like, I'm gonna want to keep it after I have it set up if I do get it set up, which is so and so has joined, so and so has left. It doesn't give me an oral chime, any kind of like sound that says, "Hey, somebody just walked in." You would think that they'd have like a little door or something. Something let me know, "Hey, somebody just joined." But yeah, anyhow, that. Anyway, thanks for popping back in. Cool, Phil. I'm at work, bro. Love the live feed. Should do it more. Round 8 at night so I can be on it. But let's go, Mets. Hey, cool, Phil. Understood. That sounds good. I will. I think I'll do that. Um, hopefully, I won't be upset around 8 because the Mets will be on. But yeah, let's go, Mets. We really need to get this ship righted. I'll tell you that much. Um, but yeah, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, I will try to be live right around when the Mets are playing. I we really need this W. Man, do we need W. Oh man. Thank you, Phil. I appreciate it, man. Hit that subscribe button too, man. If you're at it, if you can. Um, I'll try to start going live more often and interact with more Mets fans. Um, it's exciting because we're doing pretty well, but at the same time, oh man, we could be doing so much better. Yesterday was brutal, man. But such is the life. It comes with the territory, especially for Mets fans, man. We've taken some lumps over the years. That's awesome. That's my very first Met fan interaction on the channel. So that's awesome. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, we need a big game tonight. And we got the Guardians. Yeah, the Guardians aren't what they were last year, but I'm sure they're still a pretty decent team. I mean, I think that goes without saying is that there's not really any easy wins, in the in the Major League Baseball because, I mean, look at the Rockies. The Rockies played us pretty tough, and they had I think 9 wins when we were playing them. 9 wins, and when we played them, they were not giving up easy. Pirates, another story that they also played us tough. My Pirates actually have great pitching. Yeah, I'm pretty positive most of our East Coast faction is still at work. Um, but I was hoping to catch some. I saw some activity in the Facebook groups, so I figured, hey, why not? Let's see if we can get some fans to jump in. We're kind of at critical mass right now. This is kind of where the point of where we can go one way and just do it, go all the way, or we could just fizzle. It really feels like that. In terms of potential, this is about as good of a team as you can imagine that we've had. But again, that doesn't mean what you have on paper doesn't always translate into success on the field. You know, so we'll see. It doesn't matter. I like watching good baseball, even if we get shellacked. But I'd rather be on the winning side. I'd rather have blue and orange boys in blue and orange be on the winning side. But in the end, um, as long as I'm seeing some great baseball, I'm pretty much happy. I'll get over it. Yesterday was tough though. Oh, I'm gonna be doing this. I just had some Mets fan. I had one of my Mets fans that in my from Facebook join on, and the Mets game is gonna be going on at 7 o'clock. So I'll probably just continue streaming all the way through. I don't know. I might take a break. The game's at 7. I might try to take a break at some point to kind of have some food and then come back in time for the game at 7. But yeah, for the most part, I'll be doing this pretty often. So we'll see if I can build an organic follower base here, at least on YouTube. Maybe also on Twitch if anybody really from Twitch. So far, YouTube has been a lot more activity, which I expected. You already wrap up with your second student? Pizza. Ooh, that sounds good. Yeah, I had some. I cooked some tortellini for lunch earlier, um, and we had a table that we gave away, and somebody went and picked it up. I was like, right as I was finishing food, so they took that, and then now I got to figure out what I'm gonna have for dinner. We'll see. It won't be anything crazy. I only have a limited set of things that I cook for myself. That's good. I'm glad the other student wasn't annoyed that I was chatting her up as she was driving. I don't know. Takeout. Yeah. I don't know. I try to avoid takeout. It just always ends up being a lot more like salt. Somehow more salt and both salt and sugar than I really expect. And plus, we've been doing that a lot more lately. Like, well, this past week, only because we just haven't really had anything situated. But now it feels like the house is starting to feel more like a house. It's still kind of messy. I haven't taken any photos for mommy because basically the house is just not right. It's like it's stuff all over the place. So but it's slowly but surely becoming our place. So yeah, but pizzas. Yeah, meal prep is good. I like meal prep in concept. It's just executing it. Um, for me, so like cooking 5 days of food, I'll eat like 3 of those days at once. Like if the food is cooked and ready, I will have it won't go into the fridge. It'll go into my face. That's the problem with meal prep for me. It's like, yeah. That's exactly right. Yep. Yeah, I do one better is that I'll have two of them, at least two of them in one shot, and then the next two will be gone around dinner time. And then before you know it, I got one meal, and then I'm like, all right, well, it's only one meal. That's I might as well clean it out. All of a sudden, my week worth of meal is gone in like a day or so. It's yeah, like I'm sure some people can pull it off. It's just I'm not one of them. It's just like I eat it like it's gonna go out of style. For me, the only thing that works is like not having anything, meaning like not having like having um, a bare pantry or something, right? So it's like, all right, I'm too lazy to go to order, so I guess I'm not gonna eat. It's sad. I don't know. It's just my brain doesn't allow me to do that kind of stuff. 1 second. Did I lose my stream? All right, 1 second. My stream went wonky here. Uh, what happened? Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know why. Can you hear me at least? Seems like my sound is going through, but my camera is not. Okay, that's good. What are you able to see me? Okay. I don't think you can see me, but no picture. Okay, got it. That's so weird. Let's see if there's any way I can fix this. Uh, that's so weird. Um, Come on, why is it doing this? So weird. Let's try reloading and see if this does anything. Man, I was going well there for a second. What the heck? That's so weird. Let Let me see if I unplug this thing and plug it back in if it does anything. I have no clue. No clue what I'm doing. I don't know. Something's amiss. Let's see. Okay. There we go. Can you hear me now? You should be able to see me. Let's see if I. Whoa. Okay. Let's see here. I think that was just the thing got overheated. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see if this thing. 1 second. This thing is just. Maybe 2 hours is a bit long for it to be running. I don't know. Let's see if this. Let's see. All right. There. Okay. It got temperamental there for a second. The camera is a little warm. I don't know if that means anything, but I guess I'll have to keep an eye on that for future to see if that's just a function of the camera not being as good. It's not a super high end camera or anything. I mean, it looks good, but and it's certainly a cute looking camera, but I wouldn't call it like a ridiculous camera. So we'll see. Maybe this is just like a thing. I've been live streaming according to my counter here for 2 hours and 18 plus minutes. So I guess I can't really blame it for like crapping out after all that time. Um, but it shouldn't. I don't think it should. And in all fairness, it could just have been my computer, my desktop. Yeah, I don't know. Case in point, I don't know. Um, but yeah, but I'll have to kind of find out if this is something this camera does, um, and if it is, then I'll just return it and get a better camera. I have no idea. No, mommy didn't chat with me. I have not. I don't have any evidence that she actually ever logged in. Um, so I know you mentioned that she saw me, but I don't know. She didn't even text me, so I have no clue. Ah, okay, gotcha. And then it's quitting time after the 5 p.m. student. Good, excellent. Are you usually always in Manhattan? It just seems like a tough place for a student driver not how to drive. It's like getting thrown to the wolves. 99% in Manhattan. Only Upper East and West. Occasionally the Bronx. Jeez. Wow. I guess though, but that's. I mean, I've always heard, like I said, people describe it as like, yeah, once you learn to drive there, you're pretty much anywhere else is gonna be just fine. So I guess that's actually a good selling point in terms of learning how to drive. You're like, all right, well, it won't get any worse than this. Because I remember that I got my license in Florida when I lived in Florida, and when I actually made the move back to New York, I was really scared because I was like, ah, boy, it's a completely different ballgame. Although I got like my learner's permit in New York, I really didn't have a whole lot of driving time, you know, until I got to Florida. That's when I actually got my real license and, actually did the majority of my driving and learning how to handle a car. So I was just talking to one of the guys from the groups, from the Mets Facebook group one of the groups that I joined. Um, so he's currently at work, which I'm sure a bunch of other Mets fans are right now as well. Um, but I guess that'll encourage me. As long as the camera doesn't crap out, I'll just keep live streaming. Um, and like I said, take a break sometime before the game, between now and 7 p.m. And then just be ready before the game starts at 7 p.m. It's still pretty nice outside. I'm probably gonna do another walk. Um, Last time I went to the Bronx, the driving lesson is right by the Yankee Stadium. Yeah, yeah. That's that's off of is that the Major Deegan? Did I get that right? I think that's the highway that passes by. You can see Yankee Stadium. Yeah. Okay. Um, yeah. That's a pretty nice drive. Actually, Manhattan has the two highways, the West Side Highway and the FDR Highway are pretty scenic. I always forget about those highways, but people are on there all the time, and every time I go on there, I'm like always surprised by how nice that is. The other drive I like, unfortunately, the student was not proficient in English. The road test in New York is only given in one language, English. Oh, that's too bad. Um, I gotta imagine that's a lot more common than people realize, given that New York is such a melting pot. You're gonna get all these folks, trying to essentially get their license because they probably need it. Um, and the fact that it's only available in English is a little surprising. Uh, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, it's actually a good, I guess, barrier, good hurdle to get folks kind of at least used to the idea of being able to communicate in English. Ultimately, because the road signs, they're going to be responsible for knowing English. So I guess that could be a good sign. Although a lot of the signs are kind of international, right? They're like more visual. Stop signs should be pretty visually evident. Besides the actual word stop. Interesting. The signs say no. It's that when they're given an instruction, they have to follow through. Yeah, yeah. I completely agree. I completely agree. I think yeah, I have trouble following instructions in English. uh, yeah, it's yeah, I just remember that always reminds me of like when I drive in DC. When I drive in DC, I always get lost. And it's not because I don't understand the signs, it's just the infrastructure is just so confusing. And I had a similar problem in Philadelphia. Again, part of that is probably just the fact that I don't know the terrain, um, but it's just not intuitive. So they have problems following instruction. Yeah, yeah, I bet. I'm sure like part of that is also nerves exacerbating that, right? If they're like sitting there nervous about everything that they're doing potentially wrong, um, then they're probably it's like the what is it, the fishbowl effect, you know? People are like, I'm being evaluated. So it just makes you less, I guess you tune out a lot of stuff. It's like, did you hear me? I said do this. And then at that point, you just like start talking to them like they were deaf. So the people conducting the test will get out of the car if they fail to follow into them. Wow, yeah, yeah. I guess they have to, right? It's like um, for their own safety. I would imagine that they have to have that as their protocol. Like I'm not continuing this trip if you can't follow instructions. Yeah, and I bet that that rule is probably set in place because somebody stayed with the person that didn't follow instructions and ended up, getting into a really bad situation. Like I find that a lot of these rules that people have to kind of these safety rules is because something really bad happened. Um, it's like the great incident of 19 whatever. Um, and it's like, yeah, and ever since then we have to do XYZ. Yeah, I think that's good. That's good. I think the nice thing is, I guess you don't really want to sugarcoat that situation for them. I think that probably happens to a lot of people. They get a driving instructor that is just treats them with kid gloves, and then they get to the actual test, and then they find like some sort of drill sergeant, and and they're like, "Whoa, this is not what I was prepared for." You know. And that doesn't mean you have to be crazy with them, but I think just giving them that warning is like, hey, I may not be, you know, super stern, but that's probably how they'll be when you take the driving test. There's a movie from the 80s. I don't know if you remember the Coreys. Remember they were in the Lost Boys? But they also did a movie called License to Drive. Um, and it's all about basically Corey Haim playing a kid that was supposed to get his driver's license, but ends up failing the driver's license. And their parents, like his parents, got him a car and everything, and he comes home and decides to lie and tell the parents that he actually did get his driver's license. So obviously, wacky hijinks ensue afterwards. Um, but his driving instructor, I think, I think his twin sister was taking the same driving test with him, uh, meaning in separate, obviously separate vehicles. His sister gets a really calm, cool driving instructor. Um, yeah, kids talk about that one. Also, there's an episode of SpongeBob getting his his boat license. I'm assuming. Got it. His boat license. Yeah, yeah. It's just again, it's like it's one of those very relatable um, situations that pretty much everybody goes through. So it always makes its way into like into cinema. But yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember my driving test. Um, I I remember I failed twice. I failed twice because the first time I forgot to put my seatbelt on, which was just stupid. That was just dumb. I did the whole thing, but the driving instructor didn't even like say anything. The driving instructor let me do the whole course, and at the end they said, "Man, you did great, except you didn't put your seatbelt on." And it's like I gotta fail you for that, and I'm like, ah. So luckily in Florida, you can go back the next day, and then I go the next day and I do everything, but we get to like a point where they ask me a question, which I wasn't prepared for. They were like, "All right, this is a situation." I forget what the question was, and I blanked. Just wasn't prepared, and they failed me for that. So luckily, I think it was like the third or fourth time. I don't know what it was. The third time, I'm thinking it was when I passed. It was just obnoxious because it was kind of like, all right, this is just getting ridiculous. It's like I'm not a terrible driver. The seatbelt thing was stupid, but the other thing, I don't know what happened there. But luckily, because I already had a car, I bought a car first, and then I went to go get the license. Um, and I think Papi was with me, and he was like, "All right, well, I can't stay here forever, so let's just get this license." Luckily, I finally did it. And Florida had those really janky licenses too. They were like not like the ones that you see now where they're like nice and like digital. They had the ones with like the plastic laminate where you could easily peel it off, doctor it up, and then put it back. It was really just. I wonder if Florida ever got rid of those. I would hope they did. Um, but yeah, it just felt really unofficial. It was like it's 5:02. You should have your next student already. Hopefully, this last student is 5:15. Got it. Yeah, hopefully the last student goes smooth. Is this a brand new student or is this a student that's like already you've already done a lesson with them? Oh, okay. Got it. That's good. I always think the brand new students are always like the scariest. Like you don't know who's gonna show up and what kind of what kind of person they are. Hopefully you didn't throw a whole bunch of garlic and onions on that pizza. I was like, well, on the job you have to stick to cheese pizza only, or any other. I talked to them before that. Okay, that's good. Well, it sounds like a pretty good protocol you guys have. I just remember doing driving lessons with mommy versus Poppy, and that was a night and day difference. Sicilian, oh yeah, that's my favorite. Mommy was the worst driving instructor ever. I mean, and that's not hard to know if you've driven with her. Like, if you had to drive with her, you know that she will throw her feet up on the dash at any little thing that you do. She's like, "What are you doing? Hey, stop!" That drove me nuts. Yeah. She screamed at the top of the lungs. That was 10 or 15-minute lesson. That's it. I was done. Yeah. Same with me. Yeah. She just had no tolerance for any kind of like, it didn't matter like how well you drove. She was just telling you like you're doing it wrong and all this other stuff. She just had an inability to be a passenger. It's weird now. She's like the last few times I've driven with her, she's always been a lot calmer and cooler. Um, but I always remembered that. Like I had to like stop doing any kind of lesson with her, and then I would do lessons with Poppy. And Poppy was a little too calm sometimes. I feel like he was almost asleep. But at least it wasn't like he instilled confidence, which was helpful. Like I'm sure there's like a happy medium there. But if I had to choose between those two, I would have chosen Poppy 10 times out of 10 because mommy just wouldn't let me think. Especially like I said, once you start getting the feet on the dashboard, I'm like, okay, I can't be driving with that happening in the passenger side. That's way too much. There's way too much distraction. Then there was that one time that she got into a car accident while driving me to school. So when I was going to high school, uh, sometimes she would drive me because I was always either getting up late or I didn't want to mess around getting on a bus. So she'd drive me, and then one time there was a bee that got into the car, and she went berserk, and then she let go of the brake, and she ended up hitting the car in front of her. And luckily, it was low speed, so it didn't really cause a whole lot. But she was trying to like blame it on me. I was like, I didn't bring that bee inside the car. Yeah. Mine was quick to point the finger at me. I'm like, I had none of, other than like being too lazy to go and get my ass to school, on public transport. I had no hand in this in this incident. Gosh. All right, Patricia. Thanks for stopping into the stream. Thank you. Thank you. You too. Good luck with your final lesson there, and then I guess I'll see you. Hey, make sure you subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I think I have 12 subscribers. I need all the people I can get. And then when you go over to mommy's, make sure you show her how to subscribe and how to hit the chat.